So.
All right, well, we'll see. It's going to be all about the skirmishes for Suning with this Akali, trying to get in the right position and do the damage. On the other side of the board, though, OMG, with this Olaf, with this Corki, might just be looking to battle their way through into a 5v5 and try and shut down Huanfeng. I have to find out as we head onto Summoner's Rift here. And don't forget, this is a battle for 8th place. OMG, they're the gatekeepers right now. They've been sitting around 8th pretty much the entire split. And Suning desperately snapping at their heels. They're in 11th right now, but they're only 1 win behind OMG.
The interesting thing to keep our eye on will be where FLICKR goes with this Olaf. FLICKR, of course, all split has been all about his top lane. But when you do have something like a Braum in your bottom side, we would like to see him head down there. You have a lot of CC to follow up on, set Huanfeng and Sword Art behind when we know Huanfeng is the big carry for this team.
Huanfeng has looked amazing this split, honestly. Coming into the split, didn't really, didn't have much of a reputation for himself. He came in, everyone was like, who's this guy, basically? But he has had highlight play after highlight play. He's looked so amazing. And as we said before, Kalista, one of these champions that you can really flex your muscles on. You can show off your mechanical skill. And interestingly, going for the lethal tempo there rather than the Hail of Blades.
The thing that actually strikes me is the fact that Angel going for this phase rush isn't something we really ever see on the Azir. It is a rune that you will take as a mage in some matchups against all-in champions like the Irelia to really be able to get away from that champion if they decide to get on top of you, but looks like he's just taking it for the team fight, going to try to kite out this Olaf, but
yeah.
Again, I don't know if this is the best decision when you could have just gotten so much more trading power out of something like a Hail of Blades.
Maybe both Suning carries just hate Hail of Blades because they both could have gone for it. Neither of them opting into that one.
I think the lethal tempo for Kalista makes sense when you look at all the champions on your screen. This is a game that's expected to go late game, so having that increased attack speed rather than just on the 3 autos will be nice.
Nice little trade coming out there from Huanfeng and Sword Art. Good dazzle onto SMLZ. But we have to look towards the junglers. That's really where I want our focus to be in this early game, because both SOFM and FLICKR, they're all about setting their lanes up. They're all about getting their team ahead. And FLICKR, we've said it before, typically will focus towards the top side, but when you look at his pathing, he's moving more towards this bottom side of the map.
Yeah, going for a full clear straight to the bottom half of the map. It is pretty nice when we talked about that you have some decent setup in that bot lane, but with Suning having pushed, they are going to be able to lay vision down. The interesting thing to me is where SOFM will go, because you don't have a lot of setup in your lanes, right? You have an Akali and Azir. You have a bit of setup in bot lane, but I would say not really reliable until Kalista hits 6. So it's going to be a lot more about SOFM getting into FLICKR's jungle and like creating these duels.
We'll see if he can find those duels, if he can find the 1v1s. He wants it right now as he's scanned his way in. He doesn't quite know where FLICKR is, I think, because FLICKR will clear his Croaks away. And SOFM just getting vision control so he can set up for this bottom side scuttle.
I like this by SOFM because we talked about how FLICKR wants to look around the bottom side. So getting that scuttle crab, giving some protection to his bot lane, it's really nice to see.
Oh, FLICKR's been found out here. SOFM will have that pillar available in a second.
Ooh.
Flash forward for the dazzle. FLICKR's in trouble right here. Ignite goes down. Can they finish off the kill? Great play from Cole to protect his carries. Teleports from both teams, and we've got a whole fight on our hands. Flash from the knockup. Curse now the target. 5-point strike does a little bit, but Huanfeng's fine. Both teams back away. Both top laners burn TP.
That was extremely aggressive coming out from Suning. I actually would have liked to see them just be happy with taking that initial flash.
So, I think SOFM, no, he has leveled his pillar. I didn't see him use the pillar during the fight there.
Still, flashing in so aggressively, of course the enemy has a Braum, very easy for them to disengage a fight when they're right next to their own turret.
Yep.
Both top laners having to burn TPs. But still, Bin gonna miss out on, actually not much, it's a cannon wave, so it's gonna get hit into his tower and he's gonna be able to pick up most of that.
Yeah, Bin's going to arrive just in time, and that's a big old wave for Bin to be able to soak up for himself when you look at the CS numbers already. In fact, Curse has moved to the mid lane, so he could catch a wave as well. So he won't fall too far back.
So no one really losing out on the CS or XP department, but still losing a ton of summoners in the process that I feel like on the side of Suning you didn't necessarily need to commit.
It felt like to be honest, when you look at these compositions and you look at the point in the game we were at, I was not expecting both top laners just immediately pull the trigger on teleporting down and force a massive fight. Especially on the side of OMG, when you've got Braum, you're disengaging. To commit to that seems strange to me.
Now it's really going to be about how these teams can get a good setup on Dragon. OMG, of course, having the Olaf would be nice if they can get into the top lane now. Now that there's so many summoners burnt bot, we know that Trundle is hovering around this lane. Move topside, get a kill on that Akali, but no, they want to go straight for the Drake.
OMG starting this one off, and it's interesting to see Hacker focusing on this bottom side of the map. SOFM's here, he wants to contest.
It's extremely risky.
Cold should be able to block this one off, but Suning, they're outnumbering right now. Drake goes down. Now the fight. Dazzle only onto Cold. Hacker pushed back. What an Emperor's Divide. Hacker's going to be the first casualty as SOFM walks away with the triumph. Icon trying to chase him down, but Huanfeng has damage right there. Sword Art falls. And OMG in a weird position here. 3 versus 3 now. Cold takes a good chunk as he moves in. Icon able to burst away with that core key. It's just going to be 1-for-1, but OMG get the Drake.
Yeah, both compositions being very similar in terms of how they scale and how they want to play these games. We do expect it to keep coming down to these team fights. When you're the team that's actually on the objective, I'd say your position is a lot more awkward, so it's easy for Suning to find this initial engage, but OMG ending up with a 1-for-1 is pretty good for them when you still are the ones getting that Mountain Drake.
Let's take another look at some of the intricacies of this fight, because it was kind of chaotic here.
Getting that stun, and Angel being the real big playmaker with that Emperor's Divide like you talk about. Huanfeng being untouched, being able to lay down all that poke, and it looked like SOFM was going down, but Sword Art really taking all that punishment from SMLZ, not able to get away. And again, you come out feeling fine on the side of OMG being the ones who picked up the objective.
Yeah, and I was nervous for Icon towards the end of that fight, but nice flash on towards Tribrush. Did get him out of the heat of everything.
I was nervous for SOFM.
Yeah, I mean, SOFM barely walked out. Bin might just be in the same situation. Assassin on, can't get the next Brittle proc though. Ooh, Curse had flash, but I think respecting that Bin did as well.
Yeah. But as I was saying before, it'd be nice to see Hacker go up towards the top side and kind of find pressure through this 2v2 where I'd say early game Ornn with all the AoE he provides would be much better in the 2v2 than this Akali, and then try to transfer that pressure into something like a Rift Herald, or having Ornn walk mid, open that Call of the Forge God, get priority for your core key, and again just winning through that top side. Yeah,
and Curse is more than happy to play around his team, but it's worth mentioning that, oh, nice little spy there from SOFM. Very nicely done. Hacker walks away empty-handed. Well, I want to talk about Curse on this Ornn because he is very much a player that is contesting to be known as one of these aggressive killers in the top lane. Have a bit of a skirmish in the bottom side. Huanfeng going to be stunned up. SMLZ can't really get onto him though. Nice play from Sword Art just to threaten onto SMLZ there.
And I feel like whenever we have these types of bot lanes with defensive supports, the ones that typically engage end up coming out on the worst end of the trade, just giving the enemy AD carry a lot more to work with your support walking forward.
So I'm going to go back to Curse quickly before the next fight starts, because it feels like we're going to have a fight a minute for the rest of this game here. He actually got a solo kill onto Ike's when they were playing against Vici Gaming. He managed to take on the Shy as well. Granted, the Shy was playing very disrespectfully, but Curse, he's the kind of player that even when he's playing Ornn, if you miss position, if you step out of what is okay, he will punish you. He is not afraid to fight you, and he's not afraid to show you that he knows these matchups.
I would say Curse has been a very competent top laner this split, has been one of the important parts of this OMG roster. Like you said, not afraid to punish an enemy laner, but also not even just not afraid. He has the skill to do it.
Yeah. Skill and the knowledge, and he's more than happy to show that off here in the LPL. And it's even on the Ornn. Like, Ornn has kind of become a damage pick, honestly, for a lot of teams, the way that we see the top laners using it. I mean, the Shy is a great example, but Curse, following in that same kind of style of player. You can see Hacker moving up to the top side. Obviously, Herald is on the map, and Dragon's not up for another minute. So Hacker going to start this one off. Curse has cleared away that huge minion wave that was there. SOFM is going to be kind of late to the party here. Icon able to rotate up first, but it's still 2,000 HP on the Herald. It takes a while to finish that one off. Fong gets rooted. Cosmic Radiance, though, means he will be safe to disengage. Now the Herald goes down. I didn't quite see who got the smite there, but Bin now onto Curse. Forced the flash out of Hacker. They can't get onto Curse. Icon, I don't know about that one. Will Valkyrie away in the end. So OMG got the smite, but Suning denied his Herald.
Still, OMG making the play that we wanted them to. We said they could force this topside pressure, having a much better 2v2, 3v3 skirmish with that Ornn, and of course with Icon having the package. We didn't get to see how the package got used. That probably could have been the decider in that fight, and it's still going.
They're still going. Curse and Bin just going toe-to-toe consistently, and Hacker has moved up to help reset the wave here for Curse so that it can't be frozen against him. And maybe also just soak a few CS for himself.
Oh, interesting to see them zone Akali off this turret. Would have been pretty nice to see them just go for the reset, maybe make their way down towards the dragon.
They want to go for this. Twilight Shroud runs out. Knock up. Nice flash from Bin. And the Shuriken flip. The rest of the team's arriving, but Icon's here. Emperor's Divide from Angel. He's trying to turn it around. Curse walks away. Icon walks away. OMG, that was clean.
Bin played that really well, but like you said, OMG coming out so nicely. Looked really dicey once Angel did get the TP in there, but still getting some plate gold, getting the kill onto Bin. Feeling good if you're OMG.
Really great stuff from OMG. On the other side of the map, though, Suning do get the Drake for themselves. So ultimately, it's actually going to be a trade that I'd say goes in the way of Suning, even though the kill went the way to OMG. They only get one turret plate. In trade for an Infernal Drake, I'm going to take the Infernal Drake every day.
You think one Infernal Drake doesn't really mean too much, right? Drakes now, I'd say the individual Drakes mean much less than they did before. It's about stacking them up. So getting that increased gold, getting the kill, taking the flash from Bin, feels good.
It does feel good. Fong is not feeling as good, though. He's going to be stunned up in a second. Concussive blows one away, but TP now from Bin. He wants more action. SMLZ drops his little turret. But great disengage punishes this TP in the end.
Yeah, I feel like Bin committed that TP way too early. Fong was still in a fine position, and they could have even let OMG walk more far forward and then commit the TP, right? Look to punish him even harder. But just feels like OMG came out ahead.
And that's the second time this game that we're seeing the top laners pull the trigger on these TPs to the bottom side very early on. And a lot of that is down to the fact that we've got a Kalista and an Aphelios in this bottom lane. We've got Fong against SMLZ. Both of these guys, when they're set up to succeed, will carry the game.
Yeah, and let's not forget that even though Aphelios has been nerfed numerous times, Aphelios is still an insanely strong champion.
He needed to be nerfed numerous times, and I would argue that he probably still needs to be nerfed.
Yeah, we do still see him having close to 100% presence in the LPL. I checked last night, and it was about a 97%, so maybe he did slip through draft in one game, but that's about it.
There are a couple of teams that don't play it, but honestly, when a pick is pretty much 100% banned, because let's bear in mind that that almost 100% presence is near exclusively in the ban phase. So you can understand teams moving away from prioritizing that pick because you just never get to play on stage.
Yep, that is true, and an interesting thing to move our attention towards is I wanted to see if Icon would go towards that Mana-Immune build, but did decide to go just the regular Triforce first item. Will be a harder first item spike, but obviously not coming as soon as the Mana-Immune would.
OMG stacking up in this bottom side. They want to find SOFM. And they will spot him out. With Cold here. Oh, they don't actually get the ward in the end. These two teams, they want to fight. I can't believe the kill score is so low with how much they've been dancing around each other, how much they've been kind of eyeing each other up and staring each other down.
Well, and when you look at their comps, right, there isn't a lot of reliable hard CC that can set up consistent picks across the map, so it is just about getting in front of the objective and then posturing around each other until one of you wants to start it, and then you kind of both handshake and say, okay, we want to fight for this objective. We have similar comps. Who does better?
Yeah. Let's wait until we have a 5v5, and then we'll decide it like honorable gentlemen. Seems to be the way this game's going so far. And, I mean, the perfect lane to describe that, it's got to be a Azir Corki, right? You just agree to farm it up. Let's see how this goes later on in the team fights.
Yeah, and they will team fight slightly differently, of course, where on the side of OMG, you do just have a pure front-to-back comp with the Ornn, with the Braum. for on the side of Suning, it is about Bin getting on top of SMLZ or even Icon in that backline and trying to delete them, letting Huanfeng and Angel play around the rest of the fight with SOFM and Sword Art Peeling. So pure front to back versus a team comp with flanks. That's what we're looking at.
Looking for the flank. And Akali always is going to make those team fights a lot more chaotic. It's very difficult to keep on top of where Bin is. He'll be dancing around the fight. And especially if you're SMLZ, if you're cold, you're going to be trying to keep your eyes on this Akali, trying to make sure that this Aphelios cannot fall.
I'd say another annoying thing about Akali is just how much of the enemy's time she can waste going in and out of that Twilight Shroud, kind of making you focus on her, giving your teammates room to make a better decision or just do more in the team fight.
It's kind of like locking in a teamo. It's like a global taunt. Everyone wants to focus you. Whether it's the right decision or not, they're going to try and get the kill. Here we go. Speaking of, they're going to try and get the kill onto Bin. Twilight Shroud comes on through. He cannot 1v1 Icon, though. My lord, that Triforce spike is massive. Now in the bottom lane, Infernum goes down onto 2. SOFM stunned up, knocked up, and he's stuck underneath the tower. He's tanking, but walks away with his life. Sword Art keeping the Cosmic Radiance available. SMLZ flashes forward. He's onto Huanfeng and he gets the kill. What a play from SMLZ. This man is flashy, but he's been dazzled away by Sword Art. I hope you like gems. He's going to walk away. 2-0 to OMG there.
And that play was actually started by Suning. Suning were the aggressors, but when you're trying to dive a Braum at 16 minutes.
We're not done just yet, because in goes Hacker. You can't Empress divide the Olaf. He's Ragnarocking and he's Ragnarolling now. Cold wants to find the kill. Flash is going to be answered.
Yeah, Cold looking really good on this Braum, and we just talked about Suning were the ones who initially started that play on bot side since Icon went up. You're not going to dive a Braum Aphelios at level 8, 9, 10, so it didn't work out. SMLZ especially playing so good, and it extended so long that Icon was literally able to walk from the top lane all the way to the bot side, and OMG coming out so far ahead in that skirmish, and they even pick up another dragon.
Really great stuff coming out from OMG, and I love that they are more than willing to make these plays. You see SMLZ flashing forward. You see a super deep TP from Curse as well. Let's take another look.
Yeah, they threaten the dive, kind of trying to zone them off the turret. Of course, you're not going to be able to aggress onto the likes of a Braum. Of course, they also had the exhaust. And like you said, SMLZ playing so aggressively, able to burst Huanfeng down before that Cosmic Radiance even comes down. Now they just have more consistent DPS. And if you look at your mini-map, Curse is channeling that TP behind with the Ornn.
Yeah.
And I mean, we saw how the rest of that fight panned out.
And I love that was with Infernum Gravitum. Those are not the burst weapons that you think of. You'd think it was with a Severin, but no, not at all. Just goes for the play, knows he has the damage with the BF sword. And now he's rewarded for that. He's got his Infinity Edge in his inventory, and by the looks of things, he's going to go for that full crit build.
Yeah, and talking about builds, I like that Icon picked up this Hex Drinker, going to give him a lot of protection against the Akali. Now he can safely sit in that top lane like we see him doing right now, push that wave out, move over, and try to start these numbers advantage fights with the Corki.
And OMG, they're starting to wrestle control of this series over towards themselves now. 5-1 on the scoreboard. They've got 2 Drakes. They just got the Rift Herald. But most importantly, they're 4,000 gold ahead at 18 minutes here. And these fights have been pretty close between the two teams. But each and every time, OMG are the ones that are eking those advantages away.
Yeah, and especially that last fight, it's really questionable when Suning were the ones looking for it, putting them in a very awkward position. And it's kind of like we talked about with these bot lanes. When you're the ones who is the aggressor, you tend to come out on the losing end of the trade.
It often can go that way, especially when you look at the supports that are available. Very defensive supports that can protect whoever you're trying to get onto, but also look at the answers that are available on both sides. When you've got an Olaf and an Ornn and a Corki coming in on the flank. Could have a fight though.
Yep, Curse is not here yet, so they need to be a bit careful.
Aka forced to use his Ragnarok here. He didn't actually get the blue buff for himself. Curse walking away easy. Takes a couple of hits. Call of the Forge God though. They're not going to focus onto Huanfeng, despite him being kind of out of position. Cosmic Radiance used. Huanfeng now the focus. Concussive blows, not even needed. He goes down to a single auto from SMLZ in the end.
I want to know why Huanfeng even took that path and walked down there like they were going to be the aggressors in that fight.
He took 4 autos to go through a control ward during the fight. I'm not quite sure what was going through his head, but it was not the play. Now into the bottom lane, 5 members strong with a Rift Herald. OMG, they want an inhibitor.
OMG doing so good at not only punishing Suning's mistakes on the bot side, but also getting Curse ahead in that top lane. So really just winning across the map, ending with these scaling drafts. We're only at 20 minutes, already opening a 5K gold lead.
This is actually ridiculous from OMG. So great to see them being so proactive, forcing the issue, and knowing that they have such a huge lead on this Aphelios now, they can continue to force the issue. They can continue to just find these 5v5s.
Yeah, they are ahead on items right now, so pretty much any fight they initiate, they should come out ahead. Bin also pretty useless on the Akali right now, 0-2-0. Only 170 farm, so Icon and SMLZ far ahead of him in terms of kind of the efficiency they've gotten with their items.
And you mentioned earlier on in the game that Suning, the way that they win this one is finding flanks. Is that still the play? Because I don't know, even if you go on a flank, I feel like OMG can just turn on you at this point.
No, I feel like if you're Suning at this point, it pretty much is just, hey, slow the game down, get the defensive vision in your jungle, scale up, get some more items onto the Azir, onto the Akali. Once Akali has about, I'd say 3 items against this composition, then go back to start looking for those flanks, trying to delete the Aphelios or the Corki. But right now, we need to see Suning slow this game down, but that's not their choice.
3 items on Akali is a long way away for Bin. He's only got that Gunblade, and he's got a Blasting Wand as well, but I don't know, man. He's a long way off getting a 3-item spike. And now Ocean Drake spawning in 10 seconds. You can see OMG, they want to get this mid priority, then move on over.
Yeah, and we see how much MR that OMG stacked as well, so it's going to be very hard for Angel or Bin to do any damage in these fights. And OMG, of course, able to push out this wave, and they already have Curse starting the Dragon. They don't need to feel that much pressure coming out from Suning. Just have Cold zone them off, and if Suning walk too far forward, Curse opens Call of the Forge God, and they just run in again.
Here's the thing, OMG, they want this fight right now, and Suning, they're playing with fire at this point, specifically Bellows Breath's fire. But they are going to back away, Suning. Respect the fact that they definitely can't win a 5v5. I think respecting as well that Curse, if you step too far, he will force the issue.
Yep, and SOFM using that pillar, making it so Curse couldn't open that Call of the Forge God was very nice, so Suning was able to just back away, and they wouldn't have been able to contest the Drake regardless, but maybe just posturing there, hoping that someone on OMG will step too far forward and they're able to find a pick.
Suning, they're now 3 Drakes down. Well, I guess they're 2 Drakes down, but OMG have 3 Drakes. They're on soul point is what I'm trying to say. And most important, I don't know why I went such a roundabout way of saying that. Most importantly, that next Ocean in 4 minutes, when you've got an Ornn and an Olaf. We have seen Olafs with Ocean Drake before. They are unkillable. I'm willing to say, if you get Ocean Soul and Olaf together, you've pretty much already won the game.
Yeah, really strong, and the Ornn as well as the Braum, and we talk about how Suning's comp is pretty much lacking damage at this point. Of course, Angel didn't go for the pure DPS of going something like a Lethal Tempo or a Hail of Blades. We already talked about how Bin has fallen so far behind, having to double up on Blasting Wands right now just to get the raw stats in his kit. So if OMG can get that Ocean Soul, Suning just don't have the damage to win the fights.
Angel does have this Azir, though. So the longer this goes on, that's always going to be a great late-game insurance policy. Angel, his namesake, that Guardian Angel, and it feels like he is that for the team right now. If it does all go wrong, he can bring him back to life. But he needs to find the right situation for it. As you mentioned before, though, OMG do want to play a front-to-back team fight, and that is where Azir will shine.
Yeah, but on the side of OMG, you also do have double AD carry, Corki and Aphelios scaling quite well, and you will have those Ornn items coming in later. And we don't need to talk about how fast an Aphelios can do a Baron, let alone with another AD carry on his team.
Great to see the respect from Suning, though, understanding that they can just force that one with the right weapons. Dazzle comes through, Call of the Forge God as well. Sword Art is very deep, but he had a stopwatch. There's a base call. Goodbye, Bin. Goodbye, SOFM. 2 more kills for SMLZ.
Bin tries to get on the back line, but Bin is just so far behind. He gets put in the bin. I know we've made that reference before, but we're going to keep making it. And now OMG are rewarded with the Baron.
Bin, more like trash, Omega lol.
Please don't insult pro players.
Too late, already did. He's certainly not a bad player, but he's not having a fun time this game. Angel forced away by Icon. Love to see it. Now that is the Baron for OMG. And you mentioned it before. They just don't have the damage. They don't have the items to go for a flank like that. And as soon as Bin goes in, he just gets popped.
And we're going to see it right here. OMG walking up. And once again, Suning are the ones engaging this fight. We talked about how Suning need to buy time. Bin had no chance against the likes of SMLZ. And SOFM trying to get in there as well. We saw what happened when you're up against this 2-item Corki, who now has the Ornn upgrade on his IE.
This is starting to feel dicey because one more level for this Ornn from Curse as well, and that'll be a second IE upgraded for Aphelios. He's 5-0 and 0. He's got 250 farm. He's got a second BF sword as well as his Hurricane. I don't know if you can survive these fights anymore, Suning, but they've got to try. They've got to find a way back into this game. The Baron buff, though, I'm surprised we're not seeing OMG in the lanes right now.
Yeah, right now OMG just trying to get vision into the enemy jungle. They were able to get a shallow level of vision. They can send Curse back to the bot lane since he does have TP, but since that wave is already pushed out, he can actually just hover mid while the 3-man unit pushes, and then we can see them try to roam up maybe towards top side and give Icon the support to take this turret.
He has moved to the bottom side again, but as you rightly mentioned, does have the teleport, so worst case scenario, he can always jump on up to the rest of the squad. But Icon has so much freedom in this top lane to do whatever he damn well pleases. There's nothing Bin can do about that. And with everyone moving up to try and punish Icon, it means, oh no, package just ran out. Oh, the timing is appalling for Icon. He needs to just try and finish off Bin, but I don't know if he's going to be able to. One more auto, but the Twilight Shroud ruins everything. TP from Curse now. Icon surviving. Valkyrie not available, but the rest of his team is here. Cold keeps him alive, and suddenly it's all gone wrong for Suning. They thought they got the pick, but they've been picked apart instead. Angel barely survives. Undertow flashed away from SOFM under the tower, and Hacker happy to tank that one up. Now they just waltz into the base. Bot lane inhibitor is open, but they're looking to the top side.
It's so depressing that Icon can just sit in this lane by himself, feel unharmed against all the members of Suning coming into him, but still great follow-up by the side of OMG to bait Suning in, get all those kills, and now take the inhibitor.
My lord, what a performance we are seeing out of OMG here. And I was coming into this thinking this was going to be scrappy. This was going to be back and forth fights, 40-minute games. But OMG right now, they're looking like the superior squad by, I have to say it, a significant margin.
Yeah, OMG coming in with their stable system and team play that we've built up all around the split. And once Suning falls behind, they really just don't have a way of getting back into the game. We've actually related Suning's style kind of like IG's, but on a much, much, much lighter scale. Not in the sense of that they're going to play these lanes in a really kind of ballsy, flary way where, you know, Angel and Bin are going to try and just solo kill you over and over again, but it's about that they really rely on just individual mechanics to win their games.
It's definitely the way they like to play. Bin, I mean, the attempt was there. They tried to get on Icon, but
again, it's just so telling that OMG are so far ahead. Icon can safely sit in this top lane 1v1 against the Akali, which, you know, that's even. That's not how that works. And then everyone on the side of Suning collapses. He's able to stopwatch, and they still don't have the damage to take him down with all of them being around once he comes out of that.
The funniest part of that whole thing to me is that they were actually playing around package. Icon had package, and then as soon as everyone arrives, it dropped off, like literally the worst possible second. But it doesn't matter. They're so far ahead. They're literally 10,000 gold ahead now that they can do pretty much anything. So long as the squad is near enough to respond like they were in that one, they're going to be A-okay.
Here is the win condition for the side of Suning. Pray that Icon runs into you, and then SMLZ also runs into you, and that Baron or Elder, or both, are up at the time, and you get both of them.
That is a... that's a dicey win condition.
But it is a win condition.
It's a win condition. if they throw hard enough, you can win. That is one win condition. Icon knocked up with the pillar, but obviously he can just Falcon out. This will be the third inhibitor, and I've got a feeling we've just got one fight left to go with this Ocean Soul ticking away. We're just going to wait for these supers to move in. Angel needs to get back on the fountain. He's down to half. SOFM, he wants to tank this up, but he just ain't tanky yet. First tower falls. Finn wants to get onto them, jumps into the backline. Twilight Shroud there. Dazzle onto everybody, but the Emperor's Divide isn't enough. SMLZ surviving. There's nothing you can do. The Ocean Soul is just too damn strong. Get onto the fountain, they say. Forced back into the base.
What are they doing to them, Munch?
This is brutal, honestly. OMG. I thought this was going to be close, but gatekeepers is the word for OMG as they hold on to 8th place in Game 1 here.